Over the course of the semester, we viewed many Hitchcock films spanning over the course of Hitchcock's career. Out of the collection, Vertigo stuck out the most to us. His use of color in this film, as well as Technicolor, was far superior than any other film. The story of the film follows police detective John Scotty Ferguson and is asked by an old college friend, Gavin Elster, if he would have a look into his wife Madeline's odd behavior. He's taken to believe that she is the reincarnation of a woman who died many years ago and is concerned about her sanity. Scotty follows her and rescues her from an apparent suicide attempt when she jumps into the San Francisco Bay. He gets to know her and falls in love with her. They go to an old mission church and he is unable to stop her from climbing to the top of the steeple, succumbing to his vertigo, when she jumps to her death. A subsequent inquiry finds that she committed suicide, but faults Scotty for not stopping her in the first place.
Several months later, he meets Judy Barton, a woman who is the spitting image of Madeline. He can't explain it, but she is identical to the woman who died. He tries to remake her into Madeline's image by getting her to dye her hair and wear the same type of clothes. He soon begins to realize, however, that he has been duped and was a pawn in a complex piece of theater that was meant to end in tragedy.
He knew you couldn't talk. Did he give you anything?
Yes, the money.
And the necklace. Carlotta's necklace. There was where you made your mistake, Judy. You shouldn't keep souvenirs of a killing.
In Vertigo, a handful of colors stand out: red, green, yellow, blue, and gray. But for Hitchcock, the colors have just as much meaning as the story and characters themselves. Take red, for example. Red symbolizes Scotty's fantasies. In the beginning of the film, Scotty wears a reddish-brown suit at Midge's apartment while sitting in a red chair. Where at Ernie's, he's wearing a similar reddish-brown tie as the red walls surround him. We also see later that his front door of his apartment is also marked by red.
Moving on to yellow, this color represents Scotty's reality, or Midge. Her apartment is yellow, her furniture is yellow, and we have a theory that the reason Scotty and Midge didn't work out as a couple was due to the fact that their colors, red and yellow, aren't complementary of one another. There's an interesting aspect when you focus on Midge that when she realizes she's not on Scotty's mind anymore, she tries to integrate herself into this fantasy by painting herself as Carlotta Valdez, and when she shows Scotty the painting, she's even wearing a red sweater.
Johnny?
The next color we're going to look at is green. As well as red, green is the most prominent color in the film. It weighs the most in meaning. Green symbolizes Madeline. It symbolizes obsession and diverge from reality for Scotty. When he first lays eyes on Madeline, she's wearing an emerald green stole that sets her apart from those around her in black and white. Her car is green, and when she's standing over the water at the San Francisco Bay, the water is green as well. And after Scotty saves Madeline from the water, he's completely enamored with her. In fact, his color changes from red to green. He wears a green sweater later, and even throws in a green throw pillow to top it off. But also during this scene, Madeline wears Scotty's red robe, which symbolizes her fully participating in his fantasy.
There's a double meaning for the color green in this film, just like the character Madeline. During the second half of the film, Scotty sees a woman whose resemblance to Madeline is uncanny. She's even dressed in green and between two green buses, which is why she catches Scotty's attention. Because Scotty associated green with Madeline, he becomes enamored with Judy, who we come to learn is just a simple girl from Kansas. The more Scotty tries to make Judy appear like Madeline, the more green appears, until Judy wears the exact same suit Madeline wore before. She's completely basked in the green glow from the hotel sign out her window, thus completing the process of transforming Judy to Madeline in Scotty's mind. Our last color we're focusing on is blue. Blue is not as prominent in the film, however, it's just as important. Blue can represent sadness or aloofness, and consider how a painting that heavily features blue, such as those produced by Picasso during his blue period, can seem lonely, sad, or forlorn. Blue can be seen at the beginning of the film, when Scotty first develops his sense of vertigo as a police detective and his partner dies. It can also be seen in the courtroom scene after Madeline's death, and also again when Midge, who's in a blue sweater as well, admits Scotty to a hospital.
The whole film is an experience from start to finish, and when you incorporate Hitchcock's use of color into his storytelling, it puts the film on a whole other playing field. If this film lacked color or the symbolism color brings, the movie would be subpar at best. The Technicolor is why it shines apart from Hitchcock's other work, quite literally, further proving that color isn't just something that exists in a movie by consequence. When used by the right hands, color can have just as much meaning as the characters itself.